Welcome to Info Hub. In our headlines, DPP drops charges against ministers. Indian Arrival Monument reconstruction to begin. Vaccination Week launched and Expo wraps up and Linden Town Week is underway. The details of these and more after this.
Here's an important message from the Ministry of Finance and the Guyana Revenue Authority.
If you've never filed or paid your taxes or have deliberately not declared your true income, and now you're worried that you'll be audited by the Guyana Revenue Authority, I have good news for you.
The Ministry of Finance has announced a tax amnesty effective January 1 to September 30, 2018.
So you can now pay all your outstanding income, property, corporate, withholding, and capital gains taxes and get right with the GRA. Visit their office or call them at 227-6060, extension 1201 or 1204 today.
Invest in your country. Pay your taxes.
We begin with a major development as the Director of Public Prosecution today discontinued private criminal charges filed by PPP Member of Parliament Anil Nandlal against Ministers Waldo Lawrence and Dr. George Norton.
A notice from the Director's Chambers said that the charges concerned a grave issue under the criminal law in relation to two serving ministers. It said in the interest of good governance in the state of Guyana, such allegations should have first been reported to the Guyana Police Force for an investigation to be launched and the advice of the DPP sought. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams, during a press conference on Saturday, told journalists that the charges were a clear sign of retaliation by the opposition to the recent charges brought against former Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh and the Director of NISIL Winston Brassington.
It is an aberration to the rule of law, an insult to good governance, and an abuse of the process of the court to allow such unsubstantiated recourse to our justice system based solely on malice, whim, and caprice, and no evidence of criminality on the part of ministers Ms. Waldo Lawrence and Dr. George Norton, contended by the investigatory and prosecutorial agencies of the state.
On April 19, the PPP moved to the court and filed private criminal charges of misconduct in public office against the ministers before the Chief Magistrate. The charges are in relation to the rental of a pharmaceutical bond and the procurement of drugs for the Georgetown Public Hospital. Minister of State Joseph Harmon told InfoHub today that the actions of PPP's Anil Nandlal could put him in deep trouble.
I do believe and I do trust that at the appointed time when these matters are heard, and as far as I know, based on what I'm seeing, when they're determined that Mr. Nandlal and the persons who bring these frivolous charges will be condemned significantly in costs and damages.
Nandlal had filed charges on behalf of his fellow PPP MPs, Juan Ejil and Vikram Bharat. The former government official filed more charges today against other ministers. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
The completion of the Indian Arrival Monument at Palmyra is back on the front burner after a ministerial visit to the location on the weekend. Zanil Williams reports.
A ministerial delegation headed by Minister Raphael Trotman visited the monument site on the East Bank, Berbice, on Sunday and had a first-hand look at the state of the affairs. The base of the monument had collapsed last year, and this was cited as being due to flaws in the initial design, which was done under the former PPP administration. The APNU AFC government inherited this poor design and work commenced. Minister Trotman, who was performing the functions of Minister of Foreign Affairs at the time, said that the coalition government has agreed to utilize the services of engineers and other experts from India to ensure the completion of the historic monument.
We're here as ministers in fulfillment of that understanding between the two countries that the government of India would lend expertise.
Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson explained that a soil test showed that the 17-ton statue was too heavy to lay on the swamp land, which was previously used as a cane field.
So it confirmed that the initial the initial works were premature to be done, executed without having the full benefit of a soil test. But obviously now hindsight is 20/20 vision. So we're looking to have it now expedited.
According to Minister Trotman, government hopes the monument could be completed before the arrival of India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, who is expected to visit Guyana in November. He added that the relevant documents have already been sent to India and are being examined by the experts there. Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton was also part of the ministerial delegation. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
The Expo Agro and Trade Expo drew thousands to Guyana over the weekend. Renata LaFleur was there and filed this report.
Making its second mark in Pomeroon Superlam Region 2, the Expo Agro and Trade Expo once again brought the region to life, attracting scores of visitors and residents to the Regina Community Center ground. Declaring the expo open, Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin reminded the gathering of the integral role both private sector and the government play in Guyana's development.
When we talk about development, we are talking first and foremost about business. And I'm glad to see that Expo means business. We are talking about the private sector generating wealth, creating jobs, and providing the revenues for government to educate people, and to protect people and property, and to build roads and bridges, and to provide health care and hospitals, and all the other things that people expect of a good government. So both government and the private sector have a role to play in developing this country.
The event was hosted by Expo Chamber of Commerce under the theme Expo Means Business. Chairman of ECC Dilip Singh cautioned the gathering to remove their dependence on strictly rice production for development.
There is so much potential, as I said, for vertical growth in all the sectors: rice, coconut, non-traditional crops, fisheries, both aquaculture and offshore, lumber, tourism, condiments, and mining. Madam Chairperson, there are much evidence to show our economy here is continues to diversify, not dependent on rice alone.
The expo saw over 80 booths occupied predominantly by local businesses as well as government organizations exhibiting products and services. Visitors and residents shared their experience.
There's more craft here that is naturally made than I've ever seen anywhere else. Yeah, so I'm very excited.
I think it's educational, very edifying, especially for the school children or the youths around who hasn't had the opportunity to know or seen certain stuff.
It's really clean. The snackettes are really run well, and they have a lot of great vendors.
From the Regina Community Center ground, I am Renata LaFleur reporting for InfoHub.
Linden Town Week officially began on Sunday. InfoHub Stefan Gabriel was in the mining town and filed this report.
The Linden Town Week 2018 celebrations have officially started with a welcoming ceremony by the Mayor and Town Council. Addressing the opening ceremony was Minister of State Joseph Harmon.
Today, as we celebrate 48 years as a town, I would also like to join with you and the rest of Guyana to wish all of Linden every success in the planned activities for Linden Town Week 2018. Your diverse list of activities, and I've seen a list of almost 56 activities, the variety of exhibits and the rich cultural program are clear indications that the rich cultural heritage and diverse business activities and opportunities of this great town will be on full display over the ensuing days.
Mayor of Linden, Winika Arundel, also addressed the gathering, urging the residents to keep pushing for better.
That celebrating 48 years as a town does not come with only happy moments. There will be days when we will fight. There will be days when we will want to quit. But I urge you not to. Do not quit. Do not stop fighting. Keep believing. Keep dreaming. Keep hoping. Because what you're fighting for is not just for now. It's for our future generation.
Linden Town Week is officially 10 days of celebration that features a variety of sport events, essay writing and spelling bee competitions, a youth village, and tours to Rockstone and Comarcal communities. Reporting from Linden, this is Stefan Gabriel for InfoHub.
In our first oil and gas report this week, 60 persons are being trained to respond in the unlikely event of an oil spill. Details from Seneca Thorne.
The Incident Command Systems and Oil Spill Response Workshop is intended to enhance the national oil spill response capacity. This will ensure the well-organized development and deployment of systematic tools for command, control, and coordination of a multi-agency response to oil spill incidents. Minister Joseph Harmon, who has responsibility for disaster risk management, noted that issues such as oil spills are a major concern to the government, given its emphasis on developing a green state.
We therefore look forward to the production of first oil and the subsequent exploitation of this very valuable resource. But we are equally, if not more concerned, about the preservation of our environment, the integrity of our coastline, and the safety of our marine resources.
Exxon's country manager Rod Henson said that the oil company was pleased to be a part of a training session that will help to strengthen Guyana's national oil spill plan.
Those plans are always evergreen, they always change, and that's normal and natural, and so we're happy to be part of it. Very proud to help out this week.
Meanwhile, Deputy Director of Petroleum Department Nicholas Chokasang noted that oil response is a national agenda that all government agencies should be exposed to. The Incident Command System course, which runs from April 23 to 25, is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Natural Resources, ExxonMobil, and the Civil Defense Commission. It is standardized on scene all hazards approach to incident management and allow responders to adopt an integrated organizing structure matching the complexities and demands of the incident. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
And finally, Alexis Rodney tells us that a proposed plan to ban plastic will be presented to Cabinet for its consideration, a move that is supported by the Department of Environment.
We will have introduced to Cabinet a memorandum prepared by the Department of the Environment, which Cabinet will consider very seriously. It's a very solid piece of document, a very solid memorandum.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon. He was delivering featured remarks earlier today at the Ministry of the Presidency's Department of Environment Earth Day celebration held at State House. Minister Harmon said he has already asked the Department of Environment to have the technical officers be present at that cabinet session to properly explain the proposed measures to ban plastic. The department's head Ndibi Schwers explained that the document is a simple draft that is seeking to reduce on a short-term basis the importation of the single-use plastic items. It is hoped that by 2020 there will be a complete ban on the product. Earth Day 2018 is being celebrated under the theme End Plastic Pollution. Data from the days preceding showed that nearly 2 million single-use plastic bags are distributed worldwide every minute. 1 million plastic bottles are bought every minute around the world. That number is expected to top 1 trillion by the end of 2021. 1 million seabirds and around 100,000 marine animals are killed every year from the ingestion of plastic in the ocean. Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin also spoke at the event.
Guyana has a big problem with single-use plastic items, and this needs to be addressed with urgency if Guyana is to become the green state that we all look forward to.
For InfoHub, I'm Alexis Rodney.
Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.
The taxes we pay provide revenue for the government to use to develop and improve our country's infrastructure and the life of all Guyanese.
If we pay our taxes, the government will be able to build more roads, schools, hospitals, bridges, and other government facilities.
The government will also be able to use those funds to pay better wages and salaries to public servants and to improve government services.
This will help to attract more investors to our country, create jobs, and reduce poverty.
Let's invest in our country. Pay your taxes.
A message from the Ministry of Finance and the Guyana Revenue Authority.